In 2013, Olive Tree Media released a series called Towards Belief. This 10-part DVD and television series is being used worldwide and won multiple international awards from the Christian media industry. We've sold over 5,000 copies, many being used in churches and small groups, as well as being broadcast in multiple stations around the world. Towards Belief has enormous reach and influence. We want to follow up the success of Towards Belief with a new series called Jesus the Game Changer. Jesus the Game Changer is looking at how the teaching of Jesus has made a huge difference to the moral fabric and foundation of Western societies around the world. But it's not only just the teaching and values, it's the fact that Jesus' life and teaching transforms people's lives and has transformed nations, communities, people. We asked a couple of prominent Australians to comment on the importance of a series like Jesus the Game Changer.
Well, there are many in our society that want to ignore our Christian heritage. There are many who regard it as something that should be actually expunged from our consciousness. I have to say I think that's very dangerous. Whether you're a Christian believer or not, intellectual rigour and integrity demand that we acknowledge the place, the foundational place of Christian belief in the formation of a free, open, liberal, democratic society.
The Christian faith has had a massive influence on the whole construct of the thought that underpins our whole education system right now. I mean, you can't imagine literature and art and music and poetry and our human understanding, history itself, without thinking about the influence of Jesus through history.
I think it's vital. I think we need to say to people there are good Christian works in this country making a difference every day, day in, day out. There's thousands of people across the country doing that kind of work. St Vincent's, we've got 17,000 people day in, day out doing that kind of work. And we need to tell people there are good things being done by the church, by Christian groups, and we should be proud of that.
I think the important thing for people to understand about worldviews is that they need to be thought through rigorously and with intellectual honesty. The modern tendency is to create a lifestyle for yourself and then construct a worldview around it that happens to conveniently buttress that. That's not intellectual rigour. We need to go back and be objective and rational and look for evidence-based solutions to the conundrum of good and evil, given that we all now have been reminded very powerfully that good and evil are very real.
Resources like Jesus the Game Changer are the cutting edge of where we need to be communicating with a generation that's post-literate, that gets their news from Twitter or engages in other people's lives through Periscope or just the latest amusement. We've got to talk to that generation in ways that speak their language. We've got to talk to them in their media. And if the medium is the message, we've got to be in that medium with the message of Jesus Christ. This type of series, this type of communication is our chance to tell the story in a valid way to a new generation. They're just as hungry as the people who used to read books, but this generation is a very visual and verbal generation.
We're using the same team that created Towards Belief to build the series Jesus the Game Changer. Our director will be Simon Hunter, who has international experience. We'll also use Shane Burrell and his team from Mezzanine Media as the editor. Jane Fays will be the producer, and this team will work together to create another outstanding series. At a time in history when the church has moved from being seen as irrelevant to being seen as dangerous, we need the sort of information that we're pulling together in Jesus the Game Changer into our community. We need to give the church confidence, and we need to give the community a body of knowledge that's not being talked about. This series will use the best minds across the world to communicate the difference that Jesus has made. We want to ask you to partner with us as we create this new series, because we know it'll make a huge impact across the world.